We have big news. We have exciting news for you. Tell them what it is, Serena.
We are super excited to announce that we are starting our first membership this January 2024.
Yay! Membership.
So we're excited to let you know that we will be hosting a monthly membership where when you join, you will be
with us live in a Zoom room once a month for a workshop like we just hosted. It's going to be a workshop like that, one topic each month, a different topic. You might even help us come up with the following month's topic from inside our membership. Super excited to meet you. It was so fun meeting a few of you in our inaugural workshop. So we're really looking forward to that.
And when you are a member, you will also be receiving a monthly newsletter where I'm going to be a little more intimate and I'll be sharing the things that are working and the things that aren't working for me.
Yeah, like taking a tool that you've learned from the podcast and how you're implementing it and how well that worked, or maybe if it didn't work. And then Amma can put in my 2 bits worth. We'll see how that goes. But a membership newsletter and a membership live Zoom room workshop starting in January 2024. Can sign up through our Patreon link in the show notes, yeah?
Yes, everything will be in the show notes, and we can't wait to see you there, listeners.
We can't wait. Yay! You know, you're reacting to her and she's reacting to you and she wants to make it a game because she's just wired and she can't calm down. And so it's our job to be the anchor in your child's storm. So maybe she's running around and around and around and around and around. She wants you to chase her, but you need to be the anchor. You know that she's running around because she's overtired. And instead of adding to her storm by now getting angry at her, whether it comes out as yelling or screaming or threatening and bribing, however that comes out, actually our job as a nurturing parent is to be the anchor in the storm. Hey, Mama, welcome to the Nurturing Parent Podcast. Do you want to end the constant battles for bath time? Do you find yourself emotionally exhausted at the end of the day? Do you wake up with big hopes for a smooth day of fun with your little ones, only to face an early morning meltdown because you peeled their banana the wrong way?
Silly you.
Silly you.
Hey, I'm Serena. I'm a mama of 2 little ones, and as a new mama, I constantly questioned myself. I wanted to make sure I was raising respectful kids while also building a strong bond with them. But I discovered that I had to unlearn my ideas that punishment was the way. With Lisa's encouragement, I've been practicing a respectful and gentle parenting approach, which is strengthening our bond as a family.
And hi, I'm Lisa. Amma means grandmother in Icelandic. I am a mama and an amma. And I have over 40 years of experience in childcare and parent coaching. And I am so excited to share the knowledge I've gained over these years with you.
Together in this podcast, each week we will explore some easy to implement skills you can add to your parenting tool belt to help you create a happy, thriving family. Hey, Mama. So today I just wanted us to have a conversation about the nights where we stay up in bed wondering if we're messing up our kids, because that's me every night.
Seriously, every night?
Every night, I just question
goodness.
all my decisions throughout the day.
Mm-hmm. And there's a million decisions every day, 1,500,000 as well. So this is a super important topic. You know, you listener, you might think that you're alone in worrying if you're messing up your kids. And we're here to tell you that you're not, right, Serena?
Yeah.
Serena, you are not alone in this worry. We all, any of us who are conscious parents and concerned about how we're raising our children and wanting to be gentle parents, wanting to be compassionate and conscious parents, and wanting to be nurturing parents, we are going to worry whether we're messing them up, right?
Yeah.
So it's actually a good sign that you're looking at your day.
I know it comes from a good place because I just want the best for my daughter, and I want to make sure that she grows up to be confident and successful in whatever that is for her. But
Mhm.
I I question every way I react or what I had her do in the day or even down to what she eats.
So I think the first thing to acknowledge here for all of you is that you're not alone. And the things that you're doing that you feel like might be messing up your kids, we pretty much all do them from time to time. You know, for you, it might be yelling or screaming at your children. For some of you, it might be blaming or shaming or threatening. For some of you, it might be just losing your cool at bedtime because you're exhausted. And why don't they just get their pajamas on when it's time? Right? Like there's a
Yep.
million of those every day, you guys. I know, I know. All right. So, first of all, you're not alone. You're normal. If you're doing those things that you don't want to be doing, you're normal. And if you're worrying about it, you're also normal. So that's the first thing to acknowledge is that you're not out there in the world of I'm blowing it all by yourself, right?
Yeah.
So then there's something that I want to talk about first, and that is to acknowledge when we feel like we've blown it. So let's use an example. Do you have a specific example that would be good for us to use or?
So for me, I struggle with bedtime and we're all tired and sometimes she wants to just run around and she wants me to chase her to get her pajamas on. And
Mhm,
sometimes I don't have the patience for it. So sometimes I might bribe her and I worry what that does. But maybe I'll say, um, if you don't put your pajamas on, you're not gonna get a bottle to go to sleep. You're gonna go to sleep without your bottle tonight because you're not helping me put your pajamas on.
mhm. So
And and then I feel
right.
bad. I'm,
Right. So
I'm
threats and
threatening her.
bribery. Yeah, threats and bribery and all of those things. And, you know, as time goes by, we will have an episode about blaming and shaming. We will have an episode about threats and bribery because those are all very important topics to look at. And we can't get into all of the details of them all in one episode. So today we're just going to look at what happens in that moment. So you're lying in bed at night and you're thinking, oh, could I have done that differently? What could I have done differently? In the moment when you feel like you're blowing it, like you've said that to your daughter, and then you notice, oh, that's not how I want it to go.
Yes, it's just a reaction and it comes out so fast. And then I'm like, ugh, I don't want to be bribing or threatening my kid.
Right. So the first thing we want to look at is pausing from the behavior that you want to change. You want to take a pause. You want to create a pause so that your brain begins to know that there's a new way of doing it. Now, you're first of all going to notice an hour later, 2 hours later, you know, if something happens in the morning and you're noticing it at bedtime, you're noticing it a few hours later. But the thing I want you to acknowledge and give yourself a pat on the back for is that you are noticing something, some element in your parenting that you want to shift into something more nurturing, right?
Mm-hmm.
So acknowledge yourself for noticing. So you can say when you're lying in bed at night going, oh, I used a threat and what's that doing to my child? And it's like, oh, okay. Amma said, that's a good thing that I noticed. Because noticing is the first step to being able to change a behavior, right?
Mm-hmm.
That's the thing I want you to get right now out of that. Congratulate yourself just for that.
Good job, mama.
Now, now we want to shift the behavior. So we're going to keep going. Now you're noticing it at night when you lie down to go to bed. Give yourself a pat on the back, go to sleep. In the next time it happens, the next day or 2 or 3 days, and then you might notice it again at night. Then you might notice it again at night when you lie down. At some point, you're going to notice right after you threatened her or you bribed her or you yelled at her. You're going to notice right afterwards, or maybe a few minutes afterwards. Okay, great. Now you're noticing sooner. Then you can go, okay, I noticed. Then you want to go, you're going to start noticing when you're in the middle of it. You're bribing her, you're threatening her, you're not going to get this if you don't do this. As soon as you notice, I want you to stop and go, okay, there it is. That's what I don't want to be doing. And like I said, every moment that you can take a pause and notice, you're giving your brain some space to go, there's something else possible here. Then you're going to start noticing it just as it's coming out of your mouth. Oh, there it is. Stop. If you have to go and go to the bathroom for a minute just to get yourself out of the zone, go do that. But if you can stop your brain, it's going to start to be able to shift this pattern that you've developed, this habit, right? It's a habit.
Mm-hmm.
And we're going to give you something to put in there. But right now, we're just noticing the pause. Then you're going to notice it when you feel that frustration building up in your body and you're just about to say that threat or that bribe, or you're going to blame your child for something, or you're going to shame them, or you're going to yell and scream. You're going to notice just as that feeling in your body is building up. Okay, there it is. When you get to notice it just before it comes out of your mouth, that's the really, really powerful point where you can actually create a change. But when you've already done it, so when you've already threatened her, when you've already yelled or screamed or done whatever yours is that you're feeling bad about at night, when you've done it, let's look at acknowledging it. So you've just threatened her with she's not getting the bottle when she's not putting her jammies on.
Mm-hmm.
You're not helping me. You're not getting this. I'm the boss. You're the problem, right? Which is basically what they're getting from that. I want you to be able to acknowledge to your child, oh, that did not feel good. That's not the kind of mama that I want to be. I don't want to yell at you. I don't want to threaten you. I apologize. What I want to say is, I need your cooperation. How can we do that together?
Like I know I don't want to threaten her. And sometimes it's just such a quick reaction.
Mm-hmm.
And then as a parent, which this has taken me some time to practice and learn, but we have that pride and sometimes it's like I'm the parent. No, I set the rules here and I don't need to apologize. You weren't putting your pajamas on, so I'm the boss and you're not going to get your bottle. But
Mm-hmm.
now as a nurturing parent, we know that's not the message that we want to be giving our kids. And it's not her fault that she's exhausted because I didn't get us in bed at the right time. That's my
Thank
fault.
you. Thank you. Take acknowledgement for that too. Take responsibility for what's yours. If your child is overtired and they want to run around in circles and you chase them, it's because they're wired. They didn't get to bed on time, right?
Mm-hmm.
And you don't have to beat yourself up either. You just need to acknowledge, Mama blew it. We're getting to bed too late. And that makes me really frustrated because I'm exhausted. But what you said there was at the very beginning of that was it's a reaction. It just jumps out of your mouth. That's why I talked about that pause. When you notice it, create the pause space in your brain. Notice it. Be that observer parent, right? Not the reactor parent. When you create that pause, that gives you a space to put something else in there instead of the reaction. So for me, it was about yelling. I didn't yell for very long in my daughter's life, but I did in the, toddler years. And I knew that I didn't want to be a yelling parent. And I knew that it was my stuff too. Like I was upset about something when I would yell at her, whether it was her that was triggering me, but maybe I had an argument with her dad earlier, or, maybe I'd just had a bad night's sleep or whatever. Like it's my stuff. So the piece about apologizing to our children, it's not so much saying I'm sorry, actually, because I'm sorry, it doesn't have a lot of substance.
Mm-hmm.
You can say you're sorry and still do the same
You
thing.
can say I'm sorry a million times and do it right after you said I'm sorry.
Exactly. So the acknowledgement piece rather than the apology piece is what we're looking for. I didn't like how that went. I don't want to be a parent who threatens you about, bribes you into doing something or threatens you. That doesn't feel good to me. And I'm guessing it doesn't feel good to you. So I'd like to try that again. Hey, honey, come here. Mama's not going to chase you. I'm going to snuggle you for a minute. And while I'm snuggling you, I need your help. I need your help to put your feet in your pajamas right now. Let's just do it together. Does that feel like it would work?
It feels like it might. I think the pause definitely for me to stop and know that it can go a different way
Mm-hmm.
before me having to threaten
Mm-hmm.
and in whatever way of changing a mood instead of the mind.
Mm-hmm. And you just bring your energy down and you sit down and you just keep singing. Let's get your pajamas on. Oh, please help me. And ignore her running and running and running and running and sit down. You're exhausted. I am too tired now. Doo da, doo da. And try to calm it down with a quieting kind of sound because you're tired and you're going into a reaction. And so you want to pause and pull yourself out of the reaction mode and think of something new to do. So changing the mood would be putting on a funny accent or slowing it down with a gentle song, sitting down, not playing into it with her, getting your own pajamas on. I'm going to get my pajamas on, doo da, doo da, and just kind of going into that quiet bedtime feeling. And it's going to be hard. It's going to be really challenging because you're all cortisoned up. You're all like overtired and you're reacting to her and she's reacting to you and she wants to make it a game because she's just wired and she can't calm down. And so it's our job to be the anchor in your child's storm. So maybe she's running around and around and around and around and around. She wants you to chase her, but you need to be the anchor. You know that she's running around because she's overtired. And instead of adding to her storm by now getting angry at her, whether it comes out as yelling or screaming or threatening and bribing, however that comes out, actually our job as a nurturing parent is to be the anchor in the storm, to be the calm, to be the lighthouse in the fog, in the dark, right?
Yeah.
Whatever that analogy is, that's our job. How does that feel?
I think definitely pausing and giving myself, my body, and my brain that space to remind myself I am my child's anchor in the storm. This can go a different way. Change the mood, not the mind. And it's my job to put those tools into work. It's not my daughter being a bad girl. It's my responsibility to be that calm for my kid.
Yeah.
And that's important to learn because I didn't know that before. Before it was just me wanting to discipline my child.
Yeah. Great. Awesome. I hope that really, some of that resonates for you also, listener. There are a few tools that you can put into practice. It is hard, but that pause, that gives our brain just even a fleeting moment at the beginning. And like I was saying, you'll first notice at night when you lie down to go to sleep, uh-oh, I blew it again. Then you'll notice right after you've done whatever your behavior is that you're looking at altering. Then you'll notice when you're in the middle of it. And right then in the middle of it, you can say, oh, that's that thing mama doesn't want to do. I apologize. Okay, let's see. I to get pajamas on. If you can bring yourself down, that's our job. We need to co-regulate with our babies, with our children, right? We need to be their anchor in the storm.
Yeah, and learning and practicing that will lessen those nights where we're up worrying if we messed up.
Yes. And remember those times that you are lying awake worrying about something that you did that day that you're not happy with. That's the moment where you get to start that pause. You get to start that restructuring of how you want to parent in those moments. So be okay with noticing, because noticing is the first step of change. All right.
Thank you, Mama. That was great.
I hope that helps. Okay, we love you.
All right, Mama, this episode was filled with some juicy gems, so I'm here to share with you my top ones. Number 1 is, if you are staying awake at night, you're normal. Everybody does it. That was one of our main worries when we did a survey, was that moms were worried that they were messing up their kids. So we're here to tell you we all feel this way. It's normal. It's because we want the best for our kids. And noticing that we want to change something is the first step to being able to change that behavior. So congratulations. You're almost halfway there. Number 2 is, when you do notice that there is a behavior that you want to change and you want to stop reacting, the first step is noticing it. And then the second step is being able to be aware of it closer and closer to when it happens. So you might, at the end of the night, when you're thinking about your day with your child, say, "Ooh, I wish that went a different way." And maybe next time, right after it happens, you'll say, yeah, that could have been done better. And then with practice and patience, you'll get closer and closer and closer to being able to implement that pause and have that awareness before you actually react. So then that brings us to number 3 is, if you are to react, that's okay. Like I said, we're normal. We're tired, mamas. It's gonna happen. But we do have to acknowledge when we think we messed up, and we have to apologize to our kids. It's just mutual respect. And then number 4 is, we need to always remember that I am my child's anchor in this storm. So when they're feeling a mix of emotions and they're on a roller coaster ride, we need to be their calm. So if they're freaking out, we're not helping by freaking out back at them. We need to be aware of our feelings, be aware of our responsiveness to their feelings, and we need to stay calm. So give yourself grace, mamas. It takes practice, but it's worth it, and it will just grow your connection with your kids. So good luck. Remember, practice that pause. That's your homework, and we wish you luck.
Hey, Mama.
Thank you for being here with us.
Okay, how cute was that? Thanks for being here with us. Hit subscribe to get notified.
And hey, did you get anything out of this episode? I know I did. Show some love and send it to your mama friends to bless their day too.
And before you run and change that diaper, take 5 seconds and leave us a review saying how much you love us. You'll be helping other mamas find us. Did you know that? And hopefully find answers to the questions that are keeping them awake at night.
And if you screenshot your review and DM it to us, you will be entered to win a 1-hour coaching call at a discounted price with Lisa.
I can't wait to chat with you. Come hang out with us in our Facebook group or on Instagram. Just click the links in the show notes. And you can direct message us anytime. We would love to chat with you.
We also have a buy me a coffee option for a fun way that you can support this podcast for just as much as you care to give. Just click the show support link in our show notes. Thank you. See you next week.